they just completely did not want to even risk tarnishing him or his image.
Which I feel like you have to do that. You can't take a risk with that.
Yeah, you gotta just separate it.
You guys remember in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, do you remember that there was like a deleted scene where he's at Gwen Stacy's funeral in the second movie and then his dad shows up?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't really die, just so you know.
That scene, actually,
my girlfriend did.
That scene is super emotional. Andrew Garfield's acting in that scene is like 10 out of 10 good.
I'd be having a meltdown too if I read that script.
Yeah.
That's right, Chuck.
Hello there. Assemble.
Just check up on him.
99 nerds. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to give you a rundown of Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. Yo, 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 yo. Ibombe. Ibombe.
Ibombe.
And when I wake up,
Last podcast episode finished with us exciting.
We left on a cliffhanger.
We were excited and we ran out of the studio to get to the theater to see Wakanda Forever. And we did, in fact, see it.
That's right. It was great.
It was great.
The experience was great, at least, right?
It was a really good experience.
It was a good experience.
Yeah. Except for the part where I was like sitting in the theater seats for like 20 minutes without you guys, and I was wondering if I was part of some horrible prank.
Yeah. I was waiting for Miranda to get there with our food, and
you guys snuck food into the theater. You realize you're one of those people now, right?
Like, not just like a little bag. You guys had a giant bag of like 4 styrofoam.
It was a giant Mediterranean
it was
meal.
so much food.
I hadn't eaten all day. She was running late. The movie was starting. I had every intention of eating that food in my car before going in, but yeah, I wasn't about.
You're lucky we didn't get caught. That would have been bad.
Yeah, I'm not a criminal or a felon by any means, but I had to throw my coat over those styrofoam boxes and just walk on through, pretend like nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
I got a funny story about that, actually. I went to the movie theater with, I think, Noah? Maybe Matt. I don't remember. No, it was with Emily. I'm so sorry, Emily.
My gosh.
Yeah, so I had McDonald's, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know who I was with, now that I think about it. I don't remember. I had McDonald's, and I was like, I'm not going to try to hide this. It's 2022. They don't care anymore.
I remember you told me about this when it happened.
So I walked in with the food in my hand, and this guy stops me, and he goes, dude, are you kidding me?
I love the defeated attitude. It's not even just that it's against the rules. It's just that it's personally a slight against him.
He goes, dude, you didn't even try to hide it? And I was like, I mean, and he's like, come on, man. So I was like, I mean, I guess I'll hide it then. And like, he's watching me, and I literally took the food out of the bag and put it in my pocket. And then we walked through to the movie. I was like, what was the point of that?
He didn't want to get fired because he just let you pass the thing.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, though? I paid for it because I got like a Mediterranean chicken salad. And by hiding it in my coat, I accidentally got the food and the salad dressing separated. So the salad dressing was in my coat, and I thought I had lost it. So I ate a plain lettuce salad with chicken, and it was dry.
I'm sorry, bro.
And then as the movie ended, I picked up my coat and the salad dressing.
Did you just chug the salad dressing real quick so it kind of all...
Yeah, I actually just rubbed it on my skin so my skin would absorb it.
All right, well, that's why you're always so greasy.
It's science.
So about the movie.
What movie?
Wakanda Forever.
Yup, 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 yup.
Could you sum up the movie? I can do it in one sentence. How would you sum up Wakanda Forever?
Very, very good. Not as good as I hoped.
Okay, Dave?
Back and forth. Ultimately not furthering the long game
Okay.
of Marvel.
All right. I would call it a really fun, exciting, engaging 2.5-hour funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accurate. Yeah, lots of death.
It was
Yeah.
emotional. I thought they did a good job when it came to like emotions.
I teared up 5 times. Easy.
They do get you. They hit you in the feels. And another thing I thought that was amazing was the visuals.
Yeah.
I thought the fights were awesome.
Yeah.
I know I kind of came in and kind of already pooped on the movie a little bit, but I actually liked it.
Okay.
I had some time to think about it. After the movie, I said, I don't know how I feel about it, but the more I thought about it, I think it was a average, it was a good, great, it was a good movie.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to say great, I don't want
Yeah,
to say
like,
good. Somewhere in the
like
middle.
above average. You liked it more than you didn't like it.
Right. I think what they did really well, again, the emotion in it. I think they honored Chadwick very well.
Word.
I think they took the safe route with it, but
Sure.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
You have to take the safe route.
Yeah.
And then my only other thing I loved was the music. Just like the culture, the personality behind the music. I thought it was really awesome.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I think anything beyond this, we'll start to get into more detail, and we will say, massive spoilers ahead. What would you give it out of your 5-star rating, Sean?
I'll give it 4 stars. 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Sean.
Well, for me, my rating system is usually based off of how I feel. And I'll give a movie 5 stars if it personally was really important to me as a movie, just it got me good.
Sure.
And I understand that maybe not everybody will appreciate it, but for me, it was like, I'm so glad I saw that movie. And then normally I'll give a movie 5 stars if I feel like there's nothing they could have done to make it better. That was a perfect film.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's a comedy or a satire or something, it doesn't even have to be like a dramatic movie. If it's just a good movie that's made well, I'll give it 5 stars. So for Wakanda Forever, I'll give it 4 because, like Dave said, I thought it was really, really, really good. Maybe not as great as it could have been
Yeah.
overall, but for the most part, I don't regret seeing it. I liked it.
Sure. No regrets.
No regrets.
I would say, I think, like, I gave that first trailer that dropped.
Would you give it a 10 out of 10?
Well, it was
trailer?
it's like top 5 favorite trailers I've ever seen.
Dang.
So by that respect, I mean, you'd be talking about a movie that's definitely 9.0 and above. So trailer was like a 9.2. I was coming into it hoping for a 9.2 movie, but I think I got an 8.2. 8.2.
Wow. So Sean gave it a 4 or an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
You gave it an 8.2.
Yeah.
I was legitimately going to give it a 7.9.
Wow.
Dang.
So we're all right there.
Oh my gosh,
Look
you
at
guys,
us.
it's true.
Look at the 3 of us.
Guys,
would've
we
thought?
agreed.
As
We agreed on
foretold, we
something.
did it.
We're all Americans here.
Let's fly now.
We all fly now together.
Straight to the moon.
Straight to the... Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to make a Wakanda reference, but it made no sense.
To Luna and beyond.
So here we
Wait,
go.
did they, was there something in the movie about, was there something in this movie about the moon at any point?
The moon?
Yeah.
No.
What am I thinking of?
Moon Knight.
All right, well, there you go. Thank you. They all start blending together after a while. You know how it is.
They're all super jobbers.
So in general, like a general recap of the movie.
General recap. So here's the deal, guys. Shuri is the Black Panther. Bing bong, there it is. You're
Yeah.
done. She was reluctantly the Black Panther. She did not really, in the beginning of the movie, she kind of shunned it. Like basically saying the mantle's dead. The mantle's done.
Yeah.
There will be no more Black Panther.
Something I had not remembered until the movie brought it up right away was that in the first movie, Killmonger destroyed all of the heart-shaped herbs or bulbs or whatever they're called.
Right.
So there couldn't be another Black Panther.
Right.
I was very confused about what she was doing. All I was lost.
Sure.
Until the end when I realized that's what she's been trying
Yeah,
to
when
fix.
they brought it back.
I
up.
had no idea.
Yeah,
I thought she was trying. So just to start, let's talk about Chadwick, how they honored him.
Sure.
It starts off with his funeral. He's dead. They announced that it was an undisclosed illness, an unknown undisclosed illness.
Yep.
Which I think is kind of cool. They didn't go crazy with his death. They didn't like try to come up with something insane. They literally honored him with literally the way he actually died in real life. He had an illness. He had cancer. Right. But I like that they tied it into the herb that Killmonger destroyed. Because he didn't have that. He didn't have what he needed to heal.
It was like the sensu beans in Dragon Ball Z.
Sure.
That is the first of a couple Dragon Ball Z references I'll make during this review.
Nice. I can't wait. Right. So it opens up. It's like he has an undisclosed illness, and Shuri is trying to figure a way out to help him. And it's getting to the point where like her AI is telling her your brother's heart rate is rapidly increasing. And then somebody comes in and says, Shuri, what are you doing? You need to be by your brother's side. And she's just like, no, I can do this. I can figure this out. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to help him. And she doesn't. And then somebody comes.
Nice try, princess.
Oh, geez, Sean. Jeez, man. Her mom comes in crying, and she tells her that her brother has died.
And this is in like the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Right.
90 seconds of the movie. It's right off the bat they do this, which is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Just right off the bat, right away.
Yep. So then you've got the funeral scene. And after the funeral, they kind of transition to
The plot, one could say.
The plot.
I want to say like the opening Marvel sequence.
Oh, yeah.
After he died, the opening Marvel sequence where we see all the different scenes from all the movies, it was just purely dedicated to Chadwick, and it was all of his moments as Black Panther.
Right.
Which I thought was actually really
and it
cool.
was pure silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moment of silence.
You could have heard a pin drop in our theater. Just nobody said a thing.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Was really, really cool.
Yeah.
It was
I
cool
just
to be
got
a part
goosebumps
of.
thinking about it right now.
Oh my gosh.
My bumps are goosey.
All right, well. Let's hope they don't lay no eggs. All right. Well, anyway, before we get into like some more extreme spoilers, more specifics, do we want to kind of just like maybe summarize what is essentially the conflict in the movie?
Sure, David can do that.
Yeah.
He came into this saying, guys, I didn't really like take any notes, and
I got
don't
it.
know what to talk about.
Well, I would hope at least by the end of that movie you know what it's about.
Right. No. Basically,
So there's this panther.
Just so happens to be black.
Yep.
Bombay.
Bombay.
No, so a couple different things going on. One, the world wants vibranium.
Same.
The world has seen what vibranium can do.
Right.
It's seen that Black Panther can harness the power of vibranium.
Right.
And the world wants it because the world is war hungry and obsessed with being the most powerful nation. So all these different nations are obsessed with finding vibranium.
True.
They find it in the ocean.
Word.
Wakanda has always been known to be the only place on Earth with vibranium.
As far as their knowledge, yes.
As far as we all know. Well, we come to find out there is some vibranium in the ocean. However, it's not just the ocean. This is where a secret new society, or new civilization, has been residing for years. So we know Wakanda as the secret nation powerhouse of the world. But we come to find out there's another person on the scene named Namor.
Word.
That's Namor.
You were definitely waiting to say that.
No, I don't know. He's like DC Aquaman.
Right.
All right. He's the Marvel
Except
version.
he has wings on his ankles.
Right.
So he's cooler.
Way cooler. He can breathe underwater, he can breathe on land, and he can fly. And the director of the movie was asked about that, and they're like, so you're bringing Submariner, you're bringing Namor into the fold here. And he's like, yeah, listen, like, the dude can breathe underwater, and he's got wings on his ankles, and he can fly. He flies now, and he's like, we're dealing with a comic book world, and some of this is a little ridiculous. So you just gotta kind of lean into it, and we're not gonna make fun of it, but we're also not gonna take ourselves too seriously here, because this character is ridiculous, but he's got some cool powers.
He's strong too, something I had not really
Big strong.
thought about, but
Yeah.
he can pummel everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Thor,
He sends
basically.
M'Baku to the freaking Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
And M'Baku was shook as he was like,
That's right.
So we find out that they exist.
Right. So you got the world wants vibranium. Namor and his civilization is called not Atlantis.
I wrote it down. Hold on.
It's like Talokan.
Talokan.
Isn't that what Black Adam's city was?
No, that was
Ask me anything about Black Adam.
gosh.
It's Talokan. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Sure,
but,
Talokan.
Yeah.
Takodana is in Star Wars. Anyway,
And Taco Tuesday is tomorrow.
yeah, we record on Mondays, guys.
It's what we do.
Anyway, you've got this secret nation under the water. You got the secret nation of Wakanda. They both have vibranium. The world wants it. They found some in the ocean. Namor is like, yo, Wakanda, you showed the world what vibranium is. Now they're looking for it. I have an issue with you. And
Yeah,
they're
you kind of like open the seal.
Right.
No good.
he's
Right.
like, what's your deal?
Right.
And they're like, who the heck are you? Right. Because he's been in hiding. Nobody knew that these people were alive.
Are you?
Why are you here? Go back to the water.
I think that they tied that storyline together really well. Like, you fully understood Namor's convictions and what he wanted.
Sure.
And they brought that world into the fold, I think, very cleverly. So
He's a very compelling antagonist. I wouldn't even call him a villain.
yeah.
He's just an antagonist. He's the direct conflict against Wakanda. Like, the two opposing sides can't coexist the way they're doing it right now. They have to fight over it.
Right.
Right.
So when they find the vibranium, they're using this giant machine at the bottom of the ocean, and when they strike it, they send a couple divers down, and that's when Namor and his people basically attack. They take this equipment, they completely destroy the freighter ship that is searching for this. They kill everybody. And I kind of like the fact that they threw in like these underwater people are almost like the sirens of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
They've got like this chant that they do, and when they do it, it hypnotizes people, and people just walk right into the water off the boats.
I thought that was so cool. That was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Is when they start Little Mermaiding in the ocean.
That's exactly
Singing.
what it is.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking because they did it a couple times in the movie, I kept thinking, man, somebody's going to take this clip and just put all sorts of dumb music for the memes. Or it's going to be like, it's going to be the theme song to Titanic.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
So it's basically they're insinuating all of like the mythology of like the sirens of the ocean. That was them all along.
Mysteries revealed.
So they bring down the freighter, they take the equipment, and they take it to Wakanda and say, essentially, like, how did they find out that it was an American scientist? Did Namor know that?
It's, you know, Americans, they're just putting their flag all over it.
Yeah. So they're like, there's an American scientist that created this machine that can find vibranium. And there was literally only one on the face of the earth that they had been using at the bottom of the ocean, and Namor's people took it. So then it was like this, oh no, we need this person to make another one. Come to find out, the person who made it is a teenage genius MIT student named Riri Frick. What's her last name?
Riri Frick would be a pretty good Star Wars character.
Related to Frack.
Yeah. And Babu Frick.
Dang it. David, tell me the Riris.
I don't know her name. But yeah,
Johnson.
she's the next Tony Stark.
Ironheart.
Her name is Ironheart.
Yeah.
So she's a student genius, and the CIA, what agency is it?
CIA.
Is it CIA?
Yeah.
Yeah, CIA didn't even have her make it. She made it in her one of her college classes as a project.
Yeah.
And basically the professor took it and gave it to the CIA.
As they do.
Just because she's such a genius. That's what she does for her project, is create that. So
Yep.
Namor somehow finds out. I don't really remember. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, so that's basically the premise of the movie. And they eventually are kind of like
Williams.
come into war with each other.
Riri Williams. Dang it.
Why is her name really Riri?
Yeah. All right.
That sounds like a joke.
It's not. What did you guys think of Riri Williams?
She's short.
True.
Pretty short, but fine.
Half the time I really liked her, the other half I really didn't.
I would agree with that.
I think,
It's kind of like the relationship I have with you.
dude.
Got him.
Got him.
Oh man, shucks.
I think that she is going to be the new Iron Man figure. She creates a suit. She kind of has this personality too. She's super confident in herself. She really knows how smart she is. And in the beginning, like that's the first thing you find out about her. She's at MIT, like running the show. Like people pay her to do projects for them.
She's doing homework for people.
Yeah.
Classic way to introduce this person's really smart.
Yeah.
And that college students are lazy.
Word. Especially MIT students.
Oh my
Bunch of
gosh.
chumps.
Dude.
Get rid of them.
Dude.
Get a life.
Go back to Russia.
So she's on the scene, and basically while Shuri and the general, what's her face?
Koye,
Nice.
Okoye.
Okoye.
Michonne, Walking Dead.
Yeah. When they are there to get her, they get attacked by Namor and his bros, riding humpback whales and orcas.
Yikes.
Freaking dream.
It's like that documentary Blackfish all over again.
It's just a bold-faced lie.
I was just instructed to get rid of the tape.
Dude, if I could ride an orca with Namor, I'd pay pretty good money for that.
I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
I didn't care for Namor.
Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't like the actor.
Dang.
Wow.
It's the one thing
didn't.
about that movie I thought would be a surefire thing for you to enjoy.
Nope. I thought his pecs looked weird.
What?
Dang.
I
all
think
about
he
the
doesn't hit
muscles.
enough decline bench. It was like one even shape.
David didn't like his body composition.
Well, I mean, that makes sense for Dave, I guess.
Stop it.
No, that stuff's important. You obviously know, you're a fitness guru.
I mean, like The Rock and Black Adam, that scored some points in my rating.
Dang. But he never even had a shirt. Well, he did actually. Never mind.
He didn't have to. Again,
Sure.
a 5-pound bag
Okay.
with 10 pounds of potatoes in it. What's the saying? I don't even
10
know.
pounds of rocks.
That's pretty much true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David didn't like him. I thought that they did a pretty good job explaining kind of the origins.
Nope.
David didn't like that either.
No, that was so quick and in the weirdest spot of the movie. It was just kind of like, so here's my backstory, go. And
Well,
then
when
it's
else
like,
is he going to tell everybody?
and that right there, what is he gonna tell them? Okay,
Right.
what is he's gonna tell the audience? Forget telling me how much of a BA he is. Show me.
We did show you.
No, he didn't.
He beat up every single thing that was in front of him. He grabbed a helicopter by its tail end and yanked it and yeeted it into the ocean.
Right.
I may or may not have been on my phone typing about how I don't like him. I might have missed that.
Missed that. But so they get attacked by Namor and his people riding on orcas and humpback whales, and it becomes apparent very quickly that these warriors are dummy strong.
Yeah.
Okoye goes up against like the leader. She basically like kills 3 or 4 of them, and then she goes up against the leader, not Namor, but like his second in command, and the dude just freaking owns Okoye. It's not even a competition.
Dude.
And then the 3 or 4 dudes and chicks that she killed just get up. And it's like, ugh. Even when I destroyed them, they're just gonna get up and keep coming. And then this dude, I can't even defeat him. He's on another level.
And you'd think that Okoye would be familiar with defeating opponents that can't be killed.
Yeah, considering she survived Endgame.
I was going to say because she's from Walking Dead.
Oh, that's a pretty good reference.
Yeah, that was good. You
Thanks,
know what I
guys.
really like about that scene?
What?
And really about any movie in general. If you set up a hierarchy of power,
Right.
I think like that is the best storytelling, the most like hype you can get.
Hierarchy of power?
Like a chain of command
Oh.
is what I'm trying to say. So like Thanos, we didn't get Thanos right away. We got Loki, which then led to I don't know their names, but it's like a chain of command that the story leads through, and then it climaxes at
Right.
Thanos.
Right.
That is awesome storytelling. Because how do you take the best guy and then just keep beating him over and over? Like, how do you create a story out of that?
Sure.
Disney pulling Palpatine back. You can't.
Ought not to. Well, I think you bring up a good point because when you kind of introduce those like secondary, like just standard warriors, and they're super powerful, it really introduces and sets up Namor well.
Yeah. That's more powerful.
Right. The moment that Okoye went through all those dudes and then later they just stood back up and were fine, it was like, oh shoot, how the heck are they even going to defeat these people?
And that's what made me start watching it like it's Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Because these characters are so powerful, and the only way to sometimes demonstrate that is for them to like just take their lumps from another character and then like they just like brush it off like it's no big deal. Also, Namor's fighting style was very Dragon Ball Z to me. The way he's like just bouncing through the air.
Right.
Yeah. Just like torpedoing into things and stuff. It was cool.
So they fight on the bridge. Okoye gets wrecked and thrown into the ocean.
She dislocates her shoulder, and I felt that.
Yeah, she did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one hurt me.
Don't make sure Aaron Egley doesn't see this movie.
Yikes.
Rip. He's alive.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He hurt his arm. Actually, Noah hurt his arm last night.
What?
Or Saturday night. So,
Dang.
R.I.P. his shoulder.
R.I.P.
As long as his voice box is good for the podcast.
We're going to need him on. We just dropped today the episode with Noah. He's the GOAT. So then Okoye gets tossed in the ocean and they take Shuri and Riri Williams. The water people do. They take them. And when they wake up, they're in an underwater cave, and this is where Namor like spills his guts to Shuri and tells her like his whole life story and who they are and what they are. And he takes her to their village underwater in one of the underwater divers tank like suits that they took in the beginning. They killed those people, and they
didn't need it anymore.
They take that suit and he's like, I kind of like missed that scene a little bit where he's talking about how.
What do you mean?
He's like explaining their world to her, and he's like explaining how she could go there, but the pressure of the ocean would absolutely destroy all of her bones, and she would die immediately.
Well, yeah.
Unless he had a suit.
Unless you have a suit, which we do. You can wear it.
Yeah, he was just trying to be a little funny.
It was a great joke, except I didn't catch it.
Okay.
So they go down to the underworld.
You were eating your dry salad.
Yeah, I was. How was Namor's world portrayed in the movie versus how Aquaman's world was portrayed in his movie? Because I didn't see Aquaman.
They both suffer from the same problem of
being underwater.
Which because the CG is trying to be realistic, it's so murky and dark all the time.
Right.
Which I felt like when you're seeing the scenes with this, they're showing Talakan or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Kondak. That is Black Adam's world.
Good.
I knew it would come to me.
You got it. But it's like, but here's the thing. It's like, I kept wondering, I'm like, are they ever going to like turn the lights on? I know there's lights, but it's like, is this like nighttime?
Right.
Like porch lights? Cause like, I can't see the city.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
And we're in the Dolby digital cinema. Like that's as nice as it's going to get. And I can't see the city.
Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
They did it with the Gungan City.
True. See,
once again, the Phantom Menace beating everybody in every area.
Everything. And that's why I asked about the Aquaman stuff, because I didn't see Aquaman, and watching this, I was thinking like, dang, I can't see a thing. This kind of sucks. Like,
yeah, Aquaman is like, that movie perpetually feels like every scene was shot right after like a crew member like stirred up all the silt real quick.
Because everything that I heard from Aquaman, everybody said, yeah, it was all right. How was it? Was it good? I mean, it was all right.
It was
less than
literally
all right.
the Black Panther movie.
And the whole time I was thinking like, these scenes, they're all right. Like his whole story and just like them being the villains, it's all right. It could be better. Like, and I think it's just like any underwater world, like, I don't know, villain or hero, their whole thing is kind of like, it's tough to get across. It's tough to be super hyped about.
Oh, well, I have good news for you. In just a few short weeks, you'll be able to see Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Sean.
And you'll get to experience this phenomenon all over again.
We talked about this at the end of the last podcast. I was not on the mic, so I don't know if my message was as clear as it could be. So I'm going to say this. We saw the Avatar 2 trailer twice now. Once at Black Adam, once at Wakanda
But did you
Forever.
see the extended trailer?
No. And you know what, Sean? I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
I thought that trailer sucked but I didn't like it.
I watched like 7 words go through your head for you to settle on.
We have a young audience. Yeah, I don't care about Avatar. I never have.
Hey,
And when they're
It's okay.
when they're high up in the
I don't
box,
blame you. It's not your fault.
Thanks, Sean.
It's not your fault.
Thanks, man. I think that's what I need to hear. When I see it high in the box office ratings as like the top movie ever, I get mad.
What do you want from
Because
me?
I think it's stupid.
I know, but what do you like? It's of course it's the #1 movie of all time. Think about it. It's like Coca-Cola is the #1 drink of all time. What
don't
else do
drink
you
Coke.
want?
More like water is the #1 drink of all time.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. That's why they're doing
But
it.
not the way of it. Just water.
All right.
So anyway,
I just want to drink it. I don't want to live in it.
I don't want to know the way of it.
Either way, the Telecon people are pretty cool. A very interesting take on an underground city.
And the big
Can't see it too well.
the big aha moment is we do eventually start to see some of it, and basically there's this giant glowing orb that is like almost like a sun. It is the sun of their world, and Namor kind of like explains how he brought it down. He got it and he brought it, and this is like their whole ecosystem thrives because of this like artificial sun.
Perfect.
Yeah, was that like
Destroy it.
Which we find out.
That's what I thought. I said, did
Yeah.
they introduce that just so it's going to be like a MacGuffin that later,
Right.
and
Well-
if not in this movie, then in another
Yeah,
one?
I
well,
know.
no,
next one.
they said it was vibranium.
Oh my gosh.
So that was the big thing. Like they're looking for vibranium. They're looking in the ocean. This is like our whole world revolves around this vibranium star that's down here powering everything. So that was
What's up with this metal, man? Like, what? It's not even
apparently
metal anymore.
a star, and it can do supersonic weapons.
And it can be mushed into magic.
I guess so. So that was the big like, we can't let anybody take this. This is our whole being.
Well, nobody's
our-
trying to take it yet.
The whole world is.
Oh my gosh.
So he's saying we need to partner up together and we need to protect this. Like, you guys are the ones who brought vibranium to the center stage of the earth. We need to do something about this now.
Yeah.
And Namor takes a very aggressive approach in that, where he basically wants to partner up with Wakanda and just burn the world down and just take over everything. And he's like, if they're gonna come and get this, so before they do, we need to own everybody, and then the two of us can rule the world. And Shuri's like, yo, chill, bro.
yeah.
I don't think that's the right answer.
I don't think it is either.
Well,
But Namor is just such a compelling guy. I don't know. I was on his side for a minute there.
yeah. And then he literally flipped a switch and was like, okay, so if you're not gonna join me, I'm gonna go kill your mom.
Well,
and
there you
then
go.
you're gonna join me. And if you don't, then I'll kill you and everybody else too.
Yeah.
Dang, bro.
Spoilers, by the way. Should we just move into like the spoilers?
Spoilers. Go, David. Give me your most spoiled lure.
The queen is dead.
She gone. Another funeral.
Dang, they're turning Shuri into the new Thor.
She's lost everything.
Kill
dude.
everyone. They're gonna give her a love interest just to kill him.
So yeah, Namor basically invades Wakanda and kills a bunch of people, and the queen dies, saving Riri Williams.
Every time you say her name, I just don't believe it's true. It's like a baby name. Like her name is Renee, and so you just call her Riri or whatever.
Sure. So the queen dies, saving Ironheart, and Shuri.
But did she? She died.
Yeah, she's
dead.
gone.
She's super dead.
But what comes out of this attack is they're trying to basically shoot down Namor, and he's flying around Dragon Ball Z style, taking
right.
down every ship that comes across his path. And they realize that he's out of water for a really long time.
Yeah.
But then eventually he needs to go back into
Always
the water.
goes back in.
And when they analyzed that and looked over the footage,
He must be a fish man. they say to themselves.
they conclude in order for him to derive his power, he needs to be well hydrated. So
Same.
the plan is
Dave knows all about that.
It's like, if this guy shows up again, we can't fight him. We're not strong enough. So what do we need to do? We need to like dehydrate him and dry him out to fight him.
Bro, Applebee's wings. is all you had to feed the guy. I wake up at 3 a.m. with every single time, and I am dying of thirst. I have to run upstairs to get water, but I can't run because I'm dehydrated and I'll pass out.
I'm gonna look up the sodium content of those.
Yeah,
'Cause it's intense.
dude. It's not healthy. That's for sure.
Well, here's the irony, though. The ocean is salt water. So isn't that making him more dehydrated anyway? Think about it.
Dang.
Plot hole.
But that's what vibranium offsets that.
Oh, okay. That was easy.
Like Noah said, I lied. Yeah, we do it all the time.
Yeah, so what's important about like the genesis of Namor and his people is that it was basically created from an herb found in the earth. It's like essentially the same thing that they use.
Yeah, except this one was
Wakanda.
used to save their people from the conquistadors, right?
Correct.
Man, gosh, those guys they ruin everything. I like to think of this movie as a sequel to Apocalypto. You guys remember Apocalypto?
Yes.
No.
At the end of Apocalypto, it's a movie about like, I think it's Aztecs or it might be Mayans, or it's technically a mash between the two. But in the movie, it's solely about this tribe of people fighting each other. And then at the very end of the movie, it's like Deus Ex Machina. They run to the shore and there's a bunch of conquistadors on a ship approaching in a boat. And it's like, yo, uh-oh. And so I like to think that movie leads directly into this one.
Probably. So yeah, this herb or this whatever that they find turns them into all these fish people.
Yep.
And then Namor's mom was pregnant with him at the time, and when he was born, she took this herb, and when he was born, he's born with wings on his feet, and he can breathe fresh air and under the water. Whereas all of his people had turned into fish people, like they could only breathe underwater. What's important about all of that...
But he was special because he was in the womb.
Right. So what's important about all of that is when he takes Shuri and he shows her his world. He can show you his world. He gives her a bracelet that is from his mother. And the bracelet is like infused with that herb. So later, Shuri takes that bracelet.
That herb.
She takes that bracelet and she essentially decides, I am going to try to synthesize our heart. What was that herb in the first Black Panther?
I keep thinking it's heart-shaped bulb, or is it
Yeah.
heart-shaped plant?
It's like the purple plants that Killmonger destroyed. It's the one that T'Challa. Gosh.
It's super fantasy, whatever it is.
Yeah. So it's the herb that T'Challa took to become Black Panther. So Shuri decides, I am going to try to use this bracelet to synthesize a artificial version of that herb because I need to become Black Panther in order to defeat Namor.
Yeah.
And avenge my mother, and avenge my brother, and avenge the people.
Just avenge.
In the meantime,
Avengers. Avenge.
while she's doing this, Ironheart is creating a new suit with the power of Wakanda behind her. She's in Shuri's lab, whipping up Mach 2 of her suit.
There you go.
And yeah, eventually Shuri does it. She cracks the code. She creates this synthetic version of the herb. She takes it and she goes to like the afterlife, just like T'Challa did.
Yeah, and Riri makes like the skinny Baymax.
Skinny Baymax Fortnite suit.
Is it in Fortnite? Guarantee it'll be in Fortnite.
It's not yet.
Not yet, it
but
will
it
be.
looks like it should be.
This part was interesting though, when
yeah.
she goes to the ancestral plane, because you're thinking, oh, she's gonna see her brother,
Right.
And then you think, no way, they can't bring him back,
Right.
And how would they be able to reuse?
Would they use his voice?
Right.
Use
and
the
then I'm
Princess
like, wait a
Leia
minute.
tech. Use the Governor Tarkin tech. Come on, Disney.
face.
You're right.
Do it.
No.
You already sold your soul over. Do it.
No.
But they didn't do that.
It's all glitchy. And that's what I thought is, no, they can't, like, they already did good at like sending it off, honoring him. They're not going to bring it back. So I'm like, oh, that's why they killed her mom.
Oh
Her
my
mom needs to be
gosh.
dead for this.
For sure. That's what I thought too. And she thinks that.
Right.
And then the chair turns around. What up, cuz? Killmonger.
That's right. That was pretty cool to see him come back. Even for
Yeah.
a brief scene.
I like Michael B.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
So anyway, yeah, Killmonger's there. It is not her mom. It is not Chadwick Boseman's voice. It is not T'Chaka, her father. It's Killmonger.
It's not T'Chaka from Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh my gosh.
Why did she see Killmonger?
Because she has vengeance in her heart.
Dang.
I'm vengeance.
That's just like all of us do.
Dang, I didn't know if that was the sound clip or...
Thanks, Dad.
Well, what's kind of cool about that scene is I loved the, you don't think too much about like production design in movies like this that often, but I liked how they're like, okay, they're in a throne room and it looks like the throne room, but like ethereal. And then the more he's talking to her, the more like the whole room just starts setting on fire.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of this theme of the movie. Like, Shuri at one point says, like, if I think too much about my brother's death, if I mourn him, I just want to watch the world burn.
Sure.
So it's kind of like that theme of like, oh, you want to watch? Yeah, you want to watch the world burn.
Just like her cousin.
Your brother was too
Noble.
He didn't have what it takes to get things done.
And then your dad was a hypocrite.
So who are you going to be?
Dang.
Shuri?
Questions of identity. It's never been done before.
Which is exactly what Namor wanted her to do, is burn the world down.
Burn it down.
So you're like, what is she gonna do?
He just killed your moms. What are you going to do, Shuri? And she decides
To come up with a plan.
to do what?
To take out Namor. To kill him.
Kill him.
And I shall die as one of them.
And he shall die as one of me. What?
I can't sometimes hit the button quick because it's touchscreen and I can't really see it sometimes. It's like because I'm at an angle.
That's all right.
Assemble.
I just can't.
I'm vengeance.
Nice.
Mucho shakapaka.
Very good. And so she wakes up and she's kind of ticked because she did not see her mom or her brother. She's like,
Yeah.
where
sure.
were they? They abandoned me.
Yeah.
And Nkoye is there.
Nkoye or Okoye?
You just combined a bunch of names.
Before we started this podcast,
how's it say?
we looked at the names so we wouldn't screw
Bombay.
them up, and here we are screwing them up. Oh, by the way, David, Applebee's Wings has approximately 130% of the sodium you need in a day.
Yeah. 130%. And that's an
Yeah.
after, like, dinner type of
For how
meal.
much that you eat, it's 130% of your
Why do you think they
daily
put
needs.
so much in there?
I don't know.
I just picture
It's just
Kylo
so
Ren as the chef in the kitchen, and they're putting salt in it.
I just realized that I was searching the Applebee's menu for Wakanda Forever instead of Google. Dang it. Let me get this name so I don't look like a dingle hopper again.
Are you talking about his girlfriend?
Yeah,
It's
Nakia.
Nakia. You said it earlier.
I said Nkoye, which is Okoye and Nakia together. Nakia's there, and Shuri wakes up and she said, "Who did you see?" And she won't tell her. She just ignores her.
Oh my
She's
gosh.
like, "Who did you see?"
So dramatic.
And she said, "They abandoned me.
Dang.
Where were they?" And she punches something, and that thing flies. And they realize she
Oh my
has the power of the
gosh.
Black
Shoddy
Panther.
is the
Power.
Black Panther.
Shoddy went Panther mode,
That's right.
Black style,
Yep.
and she's freaking it.
She went full Morbin.
So then she has a baller scene where she has her first entrance as Black Panther in M'Baku's throne room, essentially, in the mountains. And they have this arm wrestling competition to show her strength. That scene made me tear up. The music that played,
What, the arm wrestling?
yeah. No, just that whole sequence.
gonna say,
It wasn't the arm wrestling in general. But this was right after somebody died, which was right after somebody else died. And there was a lot of just, man, this is a heavy movie, dude.
Yeah, it's a 2.5 hour funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was long.
It was like 2 hours and 50 minutes almost. So she's Black Panther.
So what do?
They just get turned.
Yeah, they send a ship to the middle of the ocean.
Because what more tactical way to fight your enemy
Stupid.
than go into the middle of the ocean on a ship?
Bad move.
Yeah.
So they've got Shuri as Black Panther. Ironheart has her Mach 2 suit. They also introduce a like Predator suit for
Midnight
Okoye.
It's like
Angel.
the angel, yeah.
Midnight Angel.
I
Okay.
hated it.
I did too. I hated it.
Ugh.
It was so ugly.
I actually like it.
It was the eyes that really just made me mad. It literally looked like the Predator. Like it
Because
had leather
to me,
dreads.
it looks so stupid. Well, to be fair, it does actually look like the comics. I looked this up.
Oh shoot.
So there's that. But also, I felt it looks so stupid, I'll never forget it.
That's true. Just the circular eyes on a Predator face mask looked very dumb, and it looked Disney Plus-esque, might you say. Like, dang, are you introducing this in the She-Hulk show, or is this Wakanda Forever?
You know what the eyes kind of looked like? Battle droid eyes.
Battle droid?
Yeah. Or like the dragon mask eyes from Skyrim.
Never played it.
Thought you guys were nerds.
I'm a...
Thought, that's what I
No,
thought.
that's 99, not 100.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the one.
The one we're not involved with.
Makes sense.
So this is like the crew, and they get everybody in Wakanda on a ship. Again, not super tactical. The ship has like a sound. What would you call it, Sean?
Sonic, like a sonic attack assault weapon.
Yeah, that they were using on
Drumming into the
peaks.
ocean over and over again.
And they have a giant battle on the water. And I mean, the highlight is Riri Williams captures Namor with Shuri. They put him on a ship and they get him under like a heat lamp to dehydrate him.
Yes, it's like a part of me was like, oh, so like Wakanda has like literally supernatural technology.
Right.
So it's like, okay, they got him on the ship. Get some heat lamps on. It's like, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you don't have like an instant evaporator device or something.
Yeah.
What do I know?
Yeah, you would think. But he's definitely weakened by it. Like they definitely found out that it was just a theory. Like, oh, if we dry him out, he won't be as powerful. He wasn't. He was
Just like a real
struggling.
fish.
And so Shuri is trying to get him to the desert to fight him.
Sure.
She doesn't get there though because
Well, she only does that successfully after he puts his spear that he still has straight through the ship.
right.
Blows it up.
Big yikes.
Probably pretty expensive.
And they fight it out, but in the meantime, Wakanda is struggling on the ship.
Yeah, they break that sonic boomer
right.
and they just start. Best part of the whole movie. Best freaking part of the whole movie. That guy rides the orca all the way up to the side of the ship, and that orca does a flip and launches this guy off its tail up on top of the ship, and he just starts killing all these Wakandans.
Yeah.
I was giddy, to say the
Pretty
least.
sweet.
I thought it was awesome.
And then, like, within that, Riri Williams is fighting, like, the third in command chick who's super strong.
Yeah.
And then Okoye gets her rematch against the leader guy, but she's got her Midnight
Angel.
Mistress outfit on.
Midnight Angel.
Midnight Angel outfit on. And the thing is, though, she doesn't really even defeat him. She beats him up, but, like, they still lose because Wakanda's still, like, they get overrun.
They kind of just do that thing in a movie where they start with like at least hundreds of Wakandans, and then by the end there's like 20 left,
Maybe.
and you don't know where all the other ones went. Are they just dead? Or, like,
Right.
where are all their bodies?
Floating in the ocean.
And then again, like Riri Williams, like Ironheart, she like defeats that chick, but she doesn't because the chick is actually the one that defeats the sonic boom thing.
Yeah, you got to have them around for the sequel.
Yeah, that's really so. It's like Namor, his first in command, and his second in command are all still there. But then David, walk us through the battle between Shuri and Namor.
Yo. So the ship blows up. Namor destroys the ship that him and Shuri are on. And they crash. They get to the edge of the desert. They crash into the desert. And this is where they get up and start fighting. They put up a pretty epic fight. Namor is getting dehydrated, though. He's getting weak.
Word.
Shuri starts lighting him up, clawing his face, everything you could think of. And then Namor stabs her in the stomach. Straight up. And honestly, at this point, I was like, oh, how are you coming back from that?
Right.
But she does.
She just
For
kinda-
whatever reason.
Kind of like Tobey Maguire in
Right.
No Way Home. Just I'll be all right.
It's fine.
Don't
It
worry
was
about it.
only in my stomach area.
Or like Iron Man in Avengers Infinity War.
Right. So apparently that area is fine. Should we test it, Sean?
Like somehow the liver is the new shoulder injury.
Not like straight into the stomach, but like just a little bit to the right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, where the really important organs are, instead of just like, your intestine or something, which
Right.
can be repaired.
Yeah. Right. So she pulls herself off of that thing, and then apparently it's fine and jumps right back in front of Namor.
Yeah, he's trying to get to the ocean because he's
Yeah.
He's
spent.
he's
'Cause
fading.
They landed in like
I don't feel so good.
they landed in like the sand desert, but they were super close to the shore still.
Sure.
So he's trying to get to the water.
Yeah. So she
Must be
she
something
actually
in the water.
blows him up. She
Straight up.
blows the ship up. And at that point, I thought he was dead.
I got the implication that she somehow set off the engines for the ship, which was still
Yeah.
on the beach, and she just kind of waited until he was standing in front of them, and then she was like, Wakanda forever, and then
Yeah.
She got him with the afterburners.
I thought for sure in that moment, Namor's dead.
Right.
She just did it. And I wasn't mad.
Right.
Say what you want about the good guy not killing the bad guy. Like Luke Skywalker won't fight Vader. You know what? We love that. I've seen that a lot, though.
Black Adam killed people.
Exactly. That's why I gave it a higher rating than you guys did.
David
If
loves
Shuri-
Ask me anything
getting
about Black Adam.
I legitimately was like, oh, Shuri just killed him. And I was in it. I was loving it. And then he's fine.
except he was still alive.
Sure.
And she basically puts the spear to his neck. And then this is the moment.
Well, it is kind of cool because think about it like this. Hold on. Think about this.
If
If Namor is obviously going to be in more movies, and let's say there's a moment where, he's really powerful and we got to stop him somehow, it's kind of nice to know what his true weakness is.
Word.
Like, Kryptonite to Superman.
Right.
For Namor, it's like, just fight him on the sun.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, friggin' send him to the sun. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
So she's like gonna kill him. And that's when she hears her mother's voice saying, show him who you are. Which was actually
Call back.
my wife's favorite part of the first Black Panther is when she says that to T'Challa. Mm-hmm. So when she said that to
Isn't that in the
Shuri-
first 15 minutes of that movie?
Yeah.
That's as far as she makes it, and then she's done.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
So she hears her mother's voice and she decides to spare his life. And she tells him basically yield and we will figure this out together.
Just like T'Challa told M'Baku to yield.
Right.
The people need you.
Right.
Dang. Callbacks, cyclical.
So instead
Set up,
of
reminder, and payoff.
wow,
Themes.
this is film.
5 out of 5 stars.
I've convinced you. This was the moment. Are you going to be like T'Challa? Or are you going to be like Killmonger? And she decides to be like T'Challa.
Dang.
Which
Freaking
is
dang.
fine. That's cool.
David was cool with it.
But no, and then it leads to, her telling Namor, we've got the scientist. She's not leaving Wakanda. You don't have to worry about her creating more stuff to find vibranium. We've got her handled.
Right.
Now, you don't mess with the outside world. We spared you. You're not going to do anything. So Namor's like, okay. And then they go back to their people who are fighting. And both of them are standing together basically saying all right, guys, we're done. We're good. We're friends now. So you guys can stop fighting. I can't be your friend. No. Yeah, that just happened. VeggieTales. Oh. So
Where are you?
Yep.
yeah, so we get these two civilizations are friends now, and it's awesome. They've got a partnership. So then we see Namor and his general alone in their Talokan city, and she's like, Namor, I thought we would fight together.
I always pictured you and me fighting together and stuff.
Side by side, and you yield to the Wakandans. I don't know if that's what she said, but I just kept going.
Direct.
Sounds like you've been watching a lot of Andor.
Dude,
We'll get into that
forget
later.
that.
Get into that later. So Namor responds.
Yeah, Namor responds, and he's like, yes, think about it. They're a good ally to have, and, she beat me, so yeah, whatever. But he's like, but the outside world is going to attack them, and when they attack them, they're going to look to us. So this is why I didn't necessarily
both sides.
like the movie. The whole movie flip-flopped every single time the plot changed. It was, let's be friends. Okay, we're not friends, but hang on. Look at it my way. Let's kill everyone. I don't want to kill everyone. And then her going into the ancestral plane. are you gonna kill everyone? I don't know. But she just said to Namor she wouldn't. It was like literally back and forth with everything.
Well, that was before Namor killed her mother.
That's true. That's fair.
So then Killmonger's like, what are you going to do about it? She's like, I'm going to freaking kill that Chach miser with the ankle things.
But the whole movie, you think about what does this add to the Marvel story? How is this going to add to the Kang stuff coming?
Right.
That's going into this movie. I thought, okay, Namor and Shuri are going to be pitted up against because of Doctor Doom pulling the strings.
That's what
That's
hoped.
what I thought.
Yeah.
So for it to be over some vibranium and just like, I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Sure.
Well,
But I didn't like it. I didn't like how at the very end of all the conflict, there was no resolution because he was like, yeah, we're friends for now because the world's going to attack Wakanda and then we're going to carry out our initial plan.
well, I'll
And like
say,
ostensibly, have they even really settled their differences really?
right.
Or is it just like, well, for now there's a ceasefire?
Right.
Well, I'll say this.
I didn't like that.
You walked out of Doctor Strange mom feeling underwhelmed because you thought it would be one thing and it was a different thing. Do you think it's possible that 3 movies from now we say, okay, like not everything happened in Wakanda Forever that we wanted to, but then 3 movies from now they're going to get to that stuff? Because they're playing the freaking 20-year long game. They're not trying to wrap everything up in one
How
movie.
do you have another Black Panther movie though? This is Wakanda Forever,
Yeah, but I think
also known as Wakanda Always.
I'm
Never not Wakanda.
I'm referring to the next 2 or 3 times we see Shuri as Black Panther, or the next 2 or 3 times we see Namor pop back up. Do you think there will be more resolution and more story completion? More of what you wanted in this single movie? Do you think that's possible?
I think every movie we say this is like, okay, this is going to further the big story, the long game. And then it's like, nothing really came from this movie. It's kind of a standalone movie that I really don't care to watch again.
Sure.
But they keep doing it. So we've had Thor, Love and Thunder. What the heck was the point of that movie?
Introducing love. That was the. I mean, that's
Which,
really.
We'll get to that in a second.
Like, do I want to see more of that character?
Let's talk about love.
Well, that's
No.
That's the thing. I mean, I am willing to give Kevin Feige and co. the benefit of the doubt. Taps off to Kevin.
No, I think this is where it
Hats
changed
on to Kevin.
when Chadwick died. I think this is what changed.
Okay, well, we can talk about that. Sean said.
Yeah,
what
what do you think are some of the things that changed after their lead actor died? Based off what the original script was going to be versus what it became.
I think the original script was Doctor Doom. I heard a rumor they cut an after credit of Doctor Doom out of the movie, which there was an after credit. It was in the mid credits, which is what they're doing now. But they do usually do a credit after everything too.
You're right.
And in this movie, it didn't have that second one, which is odd.
We were the idiots waiting till the end of the credits.
Yeah,
it's
just a post one mid credit scene. That's it.
Yep.
So I think, yeah, it was Doctor Doom. They took it out, and I think it was Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther, and it was going to be him versus Namor, and it was going to be the same type of plot, but because he died, they redirected and made it more of an honoring towards him while kind of playing it safe, and at the end of the movie, not really having anything to take of this movie.
Where would you have put any ties to Doctor Doom throughout the movie, though? Would have just been like he shows up at the very end. Fine, I'll do it myself. And just like no lead up. Just
Well, what
by
if
the way,
what
you
if
got
there
this
was a
character.
misinterpretation of the machine drilling for vibranium, and Namor took it as the U.S., but it was really Doctor Doom trying to get it.
Oh
Yeah.
my
And then we
gosh.
find out at the end that he was pulling the strings behind that, trying to get vibranium.
Damn.
I don't know, something like that.
Well, I was disappointed to hear that there potentially was an after credit scene with Doctor Doom that was cut. Again, my first thought was maybe they just weren't ready to bring. Maybe they weren't ready with the actor. Maybe they weren't happy with what was filmed. Maybe they wanted to take a different approach. I have full faith that Doctor Doom will show up, and especially with Fantastic Four leading Phase 6, with the way that Secret Wars is going to unfold, and with the Kang Dynasty. I just wonder if they thought bringing him in right now was too early.
Yeah.
And maybe they legit don't have the actor lined up yet.
I'll do it.
Do it.
I'm not convinced personally that Doctor Doom was ever going to be in the movie. Honestly, I mean, I just think that might just be a rumor for rumor's sake.
Sure.
Just like those fake tweets I sent you guys at one time.
Yeah. AI generated.
Yeah. But I think that overall the script, like I agree with you, Dave. I think the script is pretty much going to be the same thing. They wanted it to be Wakanda versus Namor's people. One of the things that probably I think would have stayed the same is that they would have still killed the queen.
Yeah.
Like I think she was always going to die.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the mid-credit scene. Do you think that would have happened if T'Challa?
I think that too. I think that would have always been in the movie as well.
Okay. So do you want to talk about that, David? The big reveal?
Listen, I'm all for these after credit scenes. That honestly, I would say I go to the movies to see the after credit scene.
You sit through the 2 hour, 49-minute movie.
I live for the hype. Okay.
Yeah.
So when the mid credit scene rolls in, it's literally just a continuation right off the movie of her. She's finally mourning Chadwick. She's mourning her brother's loss.
It's actually, I was actually paying attention to it in a way that it might actually, you might be able to take the last frame of the film and the first frame of the mid credits scene, and they match up exactly.
Yeah.
It's like they arbitrarily just cut the scene in half,
right,
so that they could have it continue.
Right.
It's a little annoying.
Yeah.
So what happens? She goes to Haiti.
Nakia.
Right.
Nokia
phone.
Nakia shows up, and you learn throughout the movie Nakia is not a part of Wakanda anymore. Right. She's doing her own thing in Haiti.
She's doing missions work.
Yeah, and it's very
it's very nice,
but odd that she's not a part of like her family when they're mourning the loss of. They just lost their dad. They lost their brother.
She did not go to T'Challa's funeral.
Yeah, so you find out, which is her husband.
Well,
boyfriend.
Her boo thing.
Disney.
Oh my gosh.
What are you teaching the children?
A couple that's not married?
Right.
Dang. Never been done before.
Not in my lifetime.
But Nakia comes up to Shuri and says, I want you to meet someone. And it's a little kid. And he's like, hi, my name is Toussaint. That's my Haitian name. But my Wakandan name is T'Challa, son of T'Challa.
Hey, did you see that scar? Talk about it.
I can't believe What a day!
Really changes things, doesn't it?
What do you know? Black Panther's got a son. Now here's the thing. If we've never seen this before, oh my God, that's sick. Dude, Black Panther has a kid? Oh my God, what a way to leave your legacy, a child.
I know what you're going to say.
Someone to, listen.
I know what you're going to say.
This is like the 5th time you've done it in a row. Thor's got a kid. Okay, from Gore the God Butcher, which
technically
adopted.
it's like adopted. It's not the same.
Adopted.
You got She-Hulk. They introduce Hulk has a freaking kid.
Yeah.
And now, Black Panther's got a kid. I can already see it. So in Avengers, they're in New York, saving New York.
Mm-hmm.
The big adults, and then they get their shawarma. I can already see it. Rather than the big state of New York, they're now in a little city in New York. Fast forward 20 years. We're in, I don't know, call it Brooklyn. We're in Brooklyn. And all the kids unite for a teenage Avenger series on Disney Plus, and they all stop the bad guys, and what's his name? Scar, Hulk's kid, punches a little turtle flying thing. I see it. They're going to just parallel it and just play off of
Super Mario's all of a sudden. What are you talking about?
No, when the Hulk
flying
says
turtle.
No, the Hulk says, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry. Right. And then he punches that flying turtle.
It's not flying turtle. It's a giant Leviathan dragon thing.
Sure. Well, this one's going to be a turtle because he's a kid. Okay. Scar is going to punch a turtle and he's going to go, I'm always upset. And it's like, his dad kind of said that. Let's play off of our success because we can't do anything else. We have to just keep milking that cow because that's what they do.
Well, I just totally forgot that Iron Man has a little daughter too.
Yeah, Iron Man has a little daughter, Hulk has a kid, Thor has a kid, Black Panther has a kid,
Keep going.
Hawkeye has a kid.
Keep going.
Who else?
Who else?
Ant-Man.
Oh my
They
god.
recasted his kid.
Cassidy.
It's true. I forgot about that one
She's
too.
in Quantumania.
Never
in
stops.
their defense, this is what the comics do.
Children are our future, Dave.
They're just following the comics.
Which is fine, but come on. Give me a better after credit. Show me the kid in the movie.
10-minute rant ends with, which is fine.
I would have left that in the movie personally. I think
Yeah.
as a mid-credit scene, it's a little. Again, it just feels like
Sure.
uselessly cutting the scene short.
Sure.
But what do I know?
Yeah, leave that as the end of the movie. And then the after credit, further the long story. Tell me something that's coming.
Well, what's interesting is all those kids that you talked about, like right now in the MCU timeline, they're all like teenager young adults. Whereas T'Challa Jr. is like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and like so is Iron Man's daughter. Like I don't even consider these as like future characters, to be honest.
Sure. So yeah, I don't know what his future is going to be. The question really is, how many more times is Shuri going to be Black Panther before T'Challa becomes Black Panther? T'Challa Jr.
Well, I just saw today Kevin Feige said for that last movie, the last hurrah of the Kang stories, he wants every
Secret Wars, yeah.
Secret Wars. He wants every single like person in Marvel in the movie.
Yeah, dude. That's what me and Sean talked about in that preview, Phase 6 preview.
Chadwick Boseman's dead.
But his son is alive.
And one of the things we talked about was like, David, you said as the movie ended, like you felt like at multiple points in the movie, you thought either they were going to have Chadwick's voice or they were going to have like a hand reach out and touch Shuri that would represent Chadwick. And they didn't. They
Right.
didn't have him at all.
You
And
have to play it safe.
I think they just went super safe with it. We're not going to tarnish him. We're not going to AI generate his voice. We're not going to play back lines from him. We're not going to screw with his persona.
His
or
likeness isn't going to be on screen.
Right.
Exactly. They just completely did not want to even risk tarnishing him or his image.
Which I feel like you have to do that. You can't take a risk with that.
Yeah, you got to just separate it.
You guys remember in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, do you remember that there was like a deleted scene where he's at Gwen Stacy's funeral in the second movie and then his dad shows up?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I didn't really die, just so you know.
That scene, actually, that
Yeah, but
scene
my
was-
girlfriend did.
That scene is super emotional. Andrew Garfield's acting in that scene is like 10 out of 10 good.
I'd be having a meltdown too if I read that script.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like in the Creed films if like Apollo Creed just showed up in the third movie?
Dude,
I wasn't really dead, just so you know. I was lying the whole time.
full disclosure,
Trying to protect you.
I have not seen Creed 1 or 2.
You're going to do that.
I'm going to do that because Kang is the villain in Creed 3.
Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I fear those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those stripes and take a step.
Well, there you go.
Dude, no,
And-
those movies are really good.
Those freaking
are some of my
trailers,
favorites.
That trailer looked amazing. I for sure will see that movie.
Surprised you saw it.
I saw it at Black Adam. I didn't see it at
Yeah, 'cause
Wakanda
you guys,
Forever.
You guys didn't see any of the trailers because
No.
you guys were late.
I was waiting on my food.
I lost my phone. I couldn't contact anyone.
It's true. He was waiting in the lobby for me to let him in, but I was waiting for my food. So
Imagine how I'm feeling. We all left at the exact same time. I see Dave Park, like 5 feet from me. I walk into the theater, and I'm waiting around, and you guys aren't showing up. And then I just sit down. It's like 20 minutes later, you guys showed up.
side note, I still need to Venmo you for those tickets. Thanks, Sean. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever.
Told them who we are.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, rated PG-13.
Yeah, they tell you at the very end of the movie, just so you know, at the very, very, very last ends of the credits, Black Panther will return. Gee, thanks.
But which Black Panther?
Oh my god.
Because we also saw at the end, Shuri plants a bunch of those like artificial
plants, yeah.
plants.
Heart-shaped plants.
Yeah, she learned the the DNA code of it,
Right.
and recreated it.
Right.
That was
Cloning.
the one thing I didn't understand she was doing throughout the movie. She said, "Bring me my brother's DNA," and that's all I heard. So I saw her analyzing her brother's DNA.
Right.
I thought what she was doing was like trying to rectify something of like I could have fixed him.
Oh,
I need
yeah,
to prove that I could have done it.
I gotcha.
And I thought she was trying to like solve his illness.
Gotcha.
So then when she was finally like, I did it, and I'm like, okay, now what? Like he's dead.
Oh my god.
So, but then I realized what she was doing.
Yeah, she was trying to synthesize that herb to become Black Panther.
Right.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up Wakanda Forever.
I have a couple little nitpicks I want to bring up.
Bring it.
At one point in the movie, one of the characters is her AI companion. Shuri's like got this Jarvis equivalent, basically. She's talking to the whole movie.
Right.
And I think that I can't remember exactly the line, but her mother or somebody says to her like, "Oh, I'm worried about AI. It might be the end of us all," or something like that. And Shuri says, "Oh, AI is not like the movies." And I'm like, huh, why doesn't that sit right to me, that line?
Yeah.
And then it was like 20 minutes later, I'm like, wait a minute. We just had a whole movie called Age of Ultron that was about an AI robot trying to destroy the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very odd.
Yeah.
So they kind of missed. Every line is important, as they say, except when
No
they're
line.
clearly forgetting something.
No line of dialogue is wasted.
Yeah.
No, I when that was happening, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, this is kind of a weird conversation to be having.
I'll say too that the actress that played Shuri, really not the actress, it has nothing to do with her. It's just the character of Shuri. I kind of thought she was annoying in the first couple appearances. I thought her role in the first Black Panther was a little like, oh, she's just this obnoxious younger sister,
right,
who keeps being sarcastic and always has a joke and doesn't take things seriously. And also, I thought the whole idea of her being this like most intelligent genius prodigy on the face of the earth, I'm like, well, how convenient for you.
Right.
You also happen to be the princess of Wakanda. But I'll say this, in the movie, she won me over a lot.
Sure.
I thought her character and her portrayal was a lot more empathetic.
Yeah.
I felt like I could connect to what she was going through and stuff like that. So I was wondering if I would want her to be the main character or if it should be more Nakia or something. But I'm glad the direction they went with it, because she's actually a pretty good protagonist in the movie.
I think that's a great call.
And makes her a good Black Panther.
I think that's a great call because, she wasn't really a character that I ever like hardcore rooted for. But I mean, like, if you put yourself in her shoes, imagine getting cast as the little sister character and then being vaulted to okay, now this is your movie.
Gosh.
Like, can you imagine what's going through her mind? So the way that they directed and wrote this movie for her, I think was very well done to kind of elevate her from being that plunky little genius sister who's got all the jokes to you really root for her. You emotionally connect with what she's going through. I thought it was...
I think it's one thing too to like have that planned out where she's the annoying little sister who's going to turn into the Black Panther.
Right.
But Chadwick dying changes everything. And now it's like, okay, people don't really like you, but we need to figure out a way for them to like you.
Right.
And I thought they did a good job.
Who can they kill off in the Captain Marvel universe to make Brie Larson a little bit more likable?
Captain Marvel.
You guys, I think Brie Larson, she's literally an Academy Award winning actress. It's not her fault.
For what?
It's not her fault.
For what was the movie? Room.
No one's ever seen it and no one ever will. So.
I saw it. It was good. We'll see. We'll see with. Oh man, when's their movie? Isn't their movie supposed to come out this year?
Dude, I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
By the way,
the Marvels.
I found the
like
Marvels.
That.
By the way, I found out that they do now. I don't know how I missed it, but there is a trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah, I saw it.
So we're good. Don't worry, that's happening still.
Sean was worried about that.
I was worried about it.
They did. And Kevin Bacon's in it.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Really good casting. Guy looks just like him.
Yeah, definitely. So that's Wakanda Forever. On a side note, we talked about it being a 2.5-hour funeral. On a serious note, did you guys see that the voice of Batman passed away?
Yeah, Kevin Conroy.
Dang, dude.
R.I.P. in peace.
He was only 66.
Yeah, that's sad.
That is sad.
He is the voice of Batman. Every video game, every animated series you've ever seen, other than a few here and there where he wasn't the voice, this dude voiced Batman for 80% of Batman content.
Did they replace him in the Arkham games at all?
No, I don't think so.
Was he always Batman?
He was
so,
Batman.
yeah.
Okay.
Kevin Conroy. He
and
was
Mark
the goat.
Hamill is the Joker.
Mark Hamill's the
How do you
Joker.
improve on that?
Right. There was that really cool animated Batman series.
Yeah, dude. So there's a couple.
Yeah.
There's the one we watched growing up in
Right.
the 90s.
The OG.
And then the one
Batman.
I watched growing up in the 2000s.
Yeah, with the with the Joker with the dreads.
Batman Beyond.
Wait, what? No, Batman Beyond's black suit.
Okay, then I'm thinking of like a newer one. It's not Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, and I can't remember the guy who voices the Joker. But the Joker is basically like, has dreads, and it's like a totally different take on the character. But that show is really good. Total side note though, because Kevin Conroy is not that Batman.
I don't think he's going to get his own movie dedicated to memorializing him in the next Batman movie.
Maybe a Disney Plus series.
But does he have a son?
Reginald Conroy.
Robert Pattinson is his son.
Oh my.
No, he's not. So
Who played the dad, Thomas Wayne, in the Robert Pattinson I'm Vengeance movie?
I have no
dude,
idea.
that's a great question.
What if it was that guy? It wasn't.
Man,
It wasn't.
no, it wasn't. Yeah, that's a solid question, Sean. Because they did show him briefly. Because he was running for mayor, right?
Sure. My favorite part about this podcast is how we sit here like guessing and trying to like remember when anybody who watches it, anybody just Googles it and knows that we're stupid.
Well, if I pull up Google, it's still got the sodium content of the buffalo wings at Applebee's.
I don't know why they don't have something on their menu called Wakanda Forever. I feel like they should jump on that. Speaking of which, I thought about something today. Remember how Wakanda just kind of like kept itself secret for like thousands of years or whatever?
Right.
And everything was all hunky-dory. No one knew what they were up to.
Right.
So as soon as they step out of their bubble, they get attacked and have their place destroyed like 3 times.
True.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe, T'Chaka was right about like, hey, let's not let anybody know about us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think honorable mention, Riri Williams, Ironheart. Shuri is brought a dress in Telecon and is told, this is for our guest, wear it. And she name drops Princess Leia.
What?
And I thought that was pretty cool. You don't remember that?
I don't remember. What do you mean?
She was saying like, don't put that dress on. That's like Princess Leia type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She's talking about like Jabba the Hutt taking her as prisoner.
Right.
It wasn't as inappropriate though.
Right.
We all love a good Star Wars reference. Okay, I'm looking at the actor. He's some random. I don't know.
Yeah, too
Nobody
bad.
important.
Sorry.
If you could recast Namor, who would you cast in that role?
It's a great question. Sean, you know more about acting in movies.
Can I rephrase the question? If I had to recast Namor,
Yeah.
because I like that guy.
I
thought he
didn't.
did a good job.
I think some of his lines just like didn't hit the way they should have.
If you never had to look at his physique, would you have changed your mind? Maybe.
No, I didn't like the way he talked. And that's not racist. I'm being honest. Like, I didn't like the way he...
I thought that
Abraham Lincoln said, if you were racist, I will attack you with the North.
I thought that my understanding is they changed the origins of his people in this movie significantly from the comics. Is that right?
I have zero clue.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this.
So, but they kind of established he comes from that kind of, I don't know, it's Mayans, not Aztecs, Mayans. And Spanish-speaking conquistadors kind of take over his homeland before they move into the water.
Right.
I thought it was actually kind of a creative idea where he and his people return in his backstory. He's explaining they returned to the land and essentially attacked the conquistadors in revenge for what they did.
Right.
And he says something like one of the dying Spanish missionaries said that he was a child of the devil or a child without love, which kind of slang abbreviated in English or in Spanish I would say is namor. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of an interesting idea.
Nice.
But everybody just calls him Namor, not Namor, but Namor.
Because we're American.
Because we're American. We're all Americans,
All Americans here. That's the second drop of that. Does that wrap up the Forever of Wakandans? We gave it about an 8 out of 10 between the three of us.
Wakanda forever and ever and ever and ever. Always, never, not Wakanda. Wakanda. What's the next Black Panther movie gonna be called?
Never not Wakanda.
Never not Wakanda. Black Panther. Never not Wakanda. Literally always.
I will say the one thing I don't like,
Number 3.
is whenever there's like this hopeless feeling in a superhero movie, and they're like, "What are we going to do?" It's like,
What are we going to do?
Master Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
that's awful.
Master Skywalker, please don't cut me in half.
It's like, well, I can name probably 37 other superheroes that might be able to help.
Dave,
Like
let me
how am I
introduce
gonna
you
get my
to.
daughter back? Why don't you ask all of your friends who are capable?
Well, actually, I was surprised we didn't see literally anyone else at the funeral for Black Panther.
That's true.
They all were.
Dang.
I literally didn't
was
even
invited.
think about that.
I feel like Winter Soldier should have been there because he helped.
Yeah.
They helped him come back.
He should have been there. You're
I
right.
feel like
He
Bucky
should have been there
Barnes-
because he killed the other king.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Freaking yikes. Freaking yikes.
Maybe they should have had Zemo there while they're at it.
Oh, no. Thanos.
Yeah. Jeez.
Jeez, man.
What the heck, Dave?
So that's actually, we didn't mention that, but that's why Nokia was in Haiti. Hayati,
No, it's Haiti.
as they said.
We're all Americans here.
She was in Haiti for 6 years because Chadwick T'Challa got dusted.
Disappeared, yeah.
He got dusted
Snapped.
by Thanos, so she left Wakanda because she was pregnant. And then
Sorry,
5 years
I
later, he
can't-
came back.
I can't deal with any of this.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to the one place where I can find peace. Haiti.
Yeah.
She's trying to do good work out there. I believed in her. Until she then went to go rescue Shuri on like a stealth mission.
Right.
Solo, like she's Solid Snake. And
Jason Bourne.
yeah, suddenly, and so somehow discovers their base where they're keeping her, and then just immediately shoots 2 of the people.
Yikes.
No negotiation, no let's talk about this, just pop. And then holding, the other, she's being held at knife point, so she's like, yeah, sure, move your arm. Oh my gosh.
Which that kind of spurred on the attack of Wakanda.
Yeah, she ruined everything, didn't she?
She really did.
She's responsible for everything.
Oh my God, it's Nokia Bourne. All right. Well, we should probably wrap this up.
All right.
Question for the peeps.
Whose side would you be on?
Dang.
Wakanda or
The Conquistadors.
Talakotan?
know what
Or
I would do?
Conquistadors.
What?
I would pit them against each other. I'd let them fight to the death.
Okay, Dr. Doom.
And when there's one of them left, I come in and kill them.
Dang, you're like
And then I take both.
you're like
And I take
Palpatine.
all their vibranium.
I don't know whose side I'd be on. Every night I go to sleep thinking about it. And every night I wake up with a different side.
Every
Well, let me ask you, when you sleep, is it underwater or is it
Do you have a water bed?
There's vibranium in my pillow.
Dang, dude.
I always have
Not
headaches.
sound comfortable.
Well, yeah, it's eliminating all the sodium in your body.
So yeah, if you listen to this whole
It's
thing,
also really bright. I can't sleep.
have you? It's a sun. Have you seen Wakanda Forever? Did we just ruin your life? Did you listen to this like an idiot? If you haven't seen the movie yet, if you have seen,
I'll
the
put a
movie,
spoiler notification at the start.
That's good. If you have seen the movie, what would you give it out of 10? What did you think of Shuri rising to the occasion? What did you think of Killmonger showing back up?
It made me, when I saw him again, it immediately made me think it's almost as if Disney is self-aware that they really shouldn't have killed him
Yeah,
off
freaking yes.
because he's a very compelling character.
Yeah, they screwed that one up. What do you say, David?
You Bombay.
All right, well, there you go.
Wakanda forever.
Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you guys. We're glad that we get to rush to the theater to see Wakanda Forever opening night so that we can sit down and talk to you guys about it. Anything you want to chime in on, go for it. Any suggestions on topics that you want us to cover, go for it. Watch us on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get your podcasts. Make sure to give us a 5-star rating on those platforms, and we appreciate you bearing through this disaster of a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You good? Yeah. So that should do it. Did you want to say something?
I didn't.
Okay.
I don't.
That'll do it. And